Hart Jr., and he comes in with some very, very impressive credentials, Joe.
Ernest Hart is the only man to ever have beat Steve Shepard. Ernest Hart on the left of our screen, and he is an unbelievably exciting fighter. He puts on a pace normally that just wears his opponents down. John McClain, on the other hand, we saw a fight in Atlanta against Jeff Gripper, and he is an unbelievably tough fighter. So we have the pressure against the toughness in this one. Should be a great bout.
John McClain on the right of your screen in the red trunks. Earnest Hart now circles with his face to you on the right of your screen, if you will. First round action, we're scheduled for 5 here in West Palm Beach.
John McClain is known as John Roundhouse McClain. Throws a very powerful back leg round kicks.
We've got to watch those kicks. You must attempt 8 kicks per round or else you face a penalty.
Ernest Hart extremely fast. Closed that distance on McClain, nailed him with a couple of shots.
Well, you can see the quickness of Hart's hands there in that exchange. You can see right there in the camera just above us, Ernest Hart with a couple of good blows to the head. This is first round action. We're scheduled for 5. These two fighters, Joe, are in the welterweight classification around 155, 156 pounds.
The welterweight classification goes in karate from 145 pounds to 157.8. You saw a very powerful back leg round kick then by John McClain, with Hart picking it off with the glove. That's the kind of shot that will put you down if it lands on your face.
We have talked so many times, if it lands on your face, it's going to put you down, but if it lands on the body, it's going to take its toll. Maybe not immediately, but if enough of those get inside, you're going to drop your defenses. You almost have to.
Hart appearing to be just too fast for McClain so far.
We're inside 15 seconds now. This is round number 1. We're scheduled for 5 here at West Palm Beach, Florida.
Hart moved inside that back kick, and it landed on his leg. Hurt him. That solid round kick to the body.
And that's the end of round number 1. And in that round, very impressive was Mr. Ernest Hart Jr. And you can see why. He has racked up a record of 18 wins against just 3 losses and 1 draw in his career. Ernest Hart, as you mentioned, Joe, very, very fast with the hands and with the feet, and we can watch this replay of first round action.
A spinning back fist followed by a hand combination with the let off with the right hand. You saw it snap McClain's head back. He snapped his head back several times during the course of the first round. I should say that John McClain is not a real fast starter, so let's don't count him out yet. When he fought Jeff Gripper in a bout in Atlanta last year, McClain was right there until the end.
Ernest Hart Jr. up against the man you're looking at right there, John McClain. McClain much taller. He's almost 6 feet tall, 5'11 and a quarter, weighs 156. He's got a bigger reach, and Joe, as you mentioned, he is a very tough individual and certainly capable in the ring.
He threw 12 kicks in that first round. Ernest Hart threw 11 kicks in that first round. Both men threw extremely hard kicks.
This is second round action. And I do mean action.
Hart's slipping there.
You can see the giggle on his face just a bit there. He got a low blow, possibly?
Yep, caught a low spinning back kick. Unintentional, touching gloves. McClain throws a very stiff jump spinning back kick, and he's trying to land that on Hart's body as he did that left round kick.
As they circle, McClain now facing you on the right of your screen with his back to you now. Ernest Hart, his opponent. As you can see, much shorter, but a very stocky, powerful built man.
Hart seems to be moving back, pulling his head back out of the way a lot of those McClain attacks. Oh, what a hard, two hard round kicks to the body, then by a Hart round kick to the head. McClain's breath is gone. He's having a hard time breathing. That's what's got him slowed down, and Hart is trying to put him away.
Using him for a punching bag. Second round action.
McClain bobbing and weaving, and this is McClain as he is got so much courage. He is an extremely tough guy. He will not go down unless you just force him down.
And he comes back strong, and the crowd appreciates that effort.
Just when you think John McClain's going to go down, he'll come back out and nail you as he did with that back kick. He is definitely stunned right now. You can see in his eyes that he's not real clear.
You see the time. This is second round action. Hart on the left with the black trunks. McClain dressed in red now with his back to you.
Accidental low kick then by Earnest Hart.
We're coming to the close of second round action, and this one is all Mr. Hart, but we saw a good example there, Joe Corley, of the determination, of the extremely gutsy performance that we always get out of John McClain. It's nice that he was able to come back like he did, but it certainly is not nice to take punishment like he took in this round.
You never count McClain out, because he was taking a lot of shots there, as you see, a lot of shots. Then he started to bob and weave there in the corner, caused a few blows to miss, and then came out with a very strong jump spinning back kick of his own. Earnest Hart with a little knot on his forehead there, you can see. Looks like he might have ducked into a knee. I think I saw in the middle of that round when McClain started to throw a left round kick, Hart ducked down, the knee must have run into his forehead then.
Joe, that is a nasty looking blow. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
That's the kind of thing that could cut open if it gets hit, but it's not normally a fight-stopping cut.
This is third round action. We're scheduled for 5. John McClain on your left, Earnest Hart, the fighter, on your right.
McClain has thrown 28 kicks so far in this fight. Hart has thrown 23.
Ooh, good left hand. And another one followed up by Hart.
This is going to be a fight all the way to the end. If it's a decision or if one of the fighters goes down, it's going to be a fight. Neither man out there really pacing himself or trying to just see what the other man's got. They're just dishing it out.
Tremendous amount of action here between these two, and this is what we've come to expect no matter where we travel here on ESPN as we watch full contact karate throughout the United States.
There was one of those round kicks with Hart's hand dropping down a little lower. If he doesn't make sure he picks off every one of those back leg kicks, he could find himself in a lot of trouble. McClain with a little swelling under his left eye. Solid right hand then by Hart.
This is John McClain with his back to us as we look at it from our ringside camera. Good blow there.
The end of that kick caught Hart on the face. It's not the kind of kick you want to have land on your face.
This is now third round action.
Good solid jab then by Hart, picking McClain up. McClain throwing the left round kick. Referee calls a slip. Doesn't feel that the force of the blow knocked him down.
We're inside 20 seconds. Third round, we're scheduled for 5. And boy, have we seen some action in this one, Joe Corley. It's John McClain with his back to you, absorbing more punishment here. Earnest Hart getting inside. Once again, there in the third round, we saw the ability of John McClain to sustain punishment and to be able to come back from a tremendous amount of adversity. But certainly that is not the kind of thing that you want to see your fighter absorb too much of, because as we look at him in the corner now, that is not him in the corner. But as we swing to John McClain's corner, Joe, we look up and we can see a little bit of a cut above his, looks like the bridge of his nose. We'll get a closer shot there, and the trainer immediately going to work on it.
Yeah, he'll put some Vaseline on it, make sure that the blows, they're calling the doctor into the ring to take a look at that cut to make sure it's not so severe.
Now, so often, it looks like it's worse than it is, and this is one of those instances where this was a slip. This was not a knockdown.
That was not called a knockdown. I think if I had been referee, I probably would have called that a knockdown, because he nailed McClain as McClain picked up that left leg, and the force of the blow did actually knock him down. Hart had 12 kicks in that round, total of 35. The bell has rung, but the doctor is still taking a look at that cut to see whether the fight should go on.
You can see that in the corner of your screen on the right-hand side. The doctor is there taking a good close look, and certainly safety is of the essence in like this. And now the referee takes another close look. But we're going to the fourth round, and here we go.
Doctor says no problem. McClain with 22 kicks in that round, last round. Hart with 12. McClain's thrown 50 kicks so far in this fight. Hart's thrown 35.
Lots of action as they move back to the center of this ring. Hart on the left of your screen. That's John McClain now with his back to you. Keep an eye on that
Earnest Hart
bridge there.
I'm sorry, Earnest Hart is a former welterweight champion looking to get another title shot with Steve Shepard. He beat Shepard the first time, took the title from Shepard. Shepard then took the title back from Hart. Solid round kick to the body by Hart. McClain with good jabs, good right hand. Hart picking most of them off with the gloves.
We can certainly see why Mr. Hart is a former world champ, because he's got a lot of ability, shows us a lot in the ring. McClain, as we mentioned earlier, has a great capacity to sustain punishment. And he's also shown us the capability of dishing it out too, but not nearly enough so far. Fourth round action. We're scheduled for 5, and I think Hart might have stunned McClain a little bit with that one.
Ernest Hart throws a very stiff left jab, very stiff. Every time he's thrown it, he's snapped McClain's head back with it. He also throws a powerful stiff leg, back leg round kick. He's landed it more than once on McClain's ribs, probably 10 times in the course of this fight.
See that the pace has slowed down quite a bit, because both fighters really expended a lot of energy over the course of the first 3 and now almost 4 rounds.
McClain with more swelling under that left eye. Some blood running down the nose from that cut on John McClain.
Come to the end of round number 4. We have one more round to go, and Joe, unofficially here at ringside, let's take a look at your scorecard, because from my untrained eye, I would have to think Mr. Hart is out in front of this one.
I've got Hart winning all 4 rounds by a score of 10-9. By no means walking away with the fight as far as, you know, the distance between the scores, but I think definitely in command of every round.
We have mentioned throughout this fight John McClain's ability to absorb punishment. Joe, does he have enough left in him to come back and possibly get the knockout? Because if we go by your unofficial scorecard, that's what he's going to have to get the victory here.
Yes, like I said at the head, you never count McClain out. He could catch Hart with a spinning back kick in the face, and that could end it. He could catch him with one of those back leg round kicks, and that could end it, because he does definitely have the gas to do that.
Fourth round action as we watch the replay here.
See how hard he throws that spinning back kick. If that lands to the face, that's the end of it. He threw 11 kicks. He's thrown 61 so far in the fight.
This is the 5th and final round. This bout between Earnest Hart Jr. with his back to you and John McClain.
McClain picked off that round kick, but it was thrown so hard that it knocked his own arm back into his face.
McClain very much more aggressive in this round. I think he knows that he's behind in points and has to come out and go for the KO.
There's that spinning back kick, landed on the body, had Hart a little off balance. Don't think it hurt him.
Hart was moving back, it appeared, on that one. Didn't absorb all of the punishment from that kick.
Boy, did he unload that spinning crescent kick. Went over the top rope. Crowd loved that.
Fifth round action, and the crowd here at West Palm Beach loves it. I'm Dennis Stumler, and alongside of me is Joe Corley, and this is just the kind of action that you always get with full contact karate. If the sport ever visits your city, you want to be sure and go down and watch it. I think you'll be impressed, just as we have been impressed each and every time out. Tremendous conditioning on both of these fighters, because here in the 5th round, both men still moving rather well.
Little cut now right on the left eyebrow of Earnest Hart. Blood running down the left side of his face, blood running down McClain's nose.
We're coming to the end of the 5th and final round. This is going to be a close decision. It's going to be interesting to see how the judges rule it. Both men very capable, and I think, Joe, this has been a very entertaining fight for the fans, and certainly one that we hope our listeners and viewers along ESPN have also enjoyed. We'll have to wait now for the decision of the judges of this fight between John McClain and the man you're looking at right there, Earnest Hart. And they too, as earlier in McClain's corner, were working on his nose and bridge area. Earnest Hart also sustained that early welt that we pointed out, and then a cut late in the fight. But Joe, unofficially, how do you have it? Joe, unofficially, how do you have it? Would you still go with Mr. Hart as the winner?
I've got Hart ahead on my scorecard, but it is unofficial. It was the kind of fight that somebody might have given to John McClain.
That's what we've got to point out. We are just speculating here. This is totally just our own speculation and unofficial, as Joe pointed out, because there was a lot of action from both sides.
There's a right to the body with that stiff left hook that Hart caught him with. About 2/3 of the way through that round. McClain threw a total of 80 kicks in this fight. Hart threw a total of 58 kicks. McClain always with the powerful kicks.
Joe, I don't know how much of a basketball fan you are, but I know that all of our sports fans along ESPN will take a good close look at Mr. McClain, at least facially and upper body wise. Maybe he's a little bit heavier muscle, but he reminds me a lot of the great forward with the Philadelphia 76ers, Bobby Jones. They're both, I don't mean to sound negative about their appearance, but they both are very finely conditioned athletes, despite the fact that they are rather thin. Let's get the decision from the referees on this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Bill scores it 46-50. Judge Randy Hoop scores it 46-50. And Judge Chip Allen scores it 45-50. The winner by unanimous decision, Ernie Hart.
Well, you can hear the reaction to the crowd. This was a fine fight. And Joe, as we said, Mr. Hart, a terrific performance tonight. But we've got to, of course, give our appreciation to a fighter like John McClain.
Ernest Hart wants to know if they'll come see him fight Steve Shepard. He's asking, will they give him a rematch here with Steve Shepard?
Quite a showman, and the crowd loves it here at the City Auditorium in West Palm Beach.
I tell you, when he fought Steve Shepard here before in the last bout, he had them on their feet for the whole fight.
Of course, we'll be watching Steve Shepard in one of our featured bouts tonight.
He was Steve Shepard. He's got the Steve Shepard fans on their feet doing thumbs down on him. He knows how to get the crowd excited.